Time travel. The very concept bends our minds and fuels some of the most imaginative stories ever told. But how do these cinematic time traveling adventures actually work? Let's dive into an in-depth explanation of each type of time travel with examples to illustrate how each method works. Up first is branch realities. This type of time travel is based on the idea that changes made in the past do not alter the original timeline. Instead, they create an alternate timeline or reality that runs parallel to the original one. This is often tied to the concept of the multiverse or the many worlds theory, where every choice or action leads to the creation of a new branch of reality. As a result, the original timeline remains intact, but the character's actions create a new divergent reality. This allows for the existence of multiple versions of the same characters, each experiencing different outcomes based on their choices. For example, in the Loki series, the show features the TVA, or the Time Variance Authority, which monitors and controls the branching of timelines that occur when someone alters the past, leading to alternate realities that coexist alongside the original one. In Avengers Endgame, the Avengers travel back in time to retrieve the Infinity Stones, and instead of changing the original timeline, they create new branches, which is explained through the concept of alternate realities. In Back to the Future Part 2, after Biff Tannen uses the time-traveling DeLorean to change the past, it creates an alternate 1985 where Biff is wealthy and powerful, while the original timeline is still intact. And in Rick and Morty, the show frequently explores the concept of alternate dimensions, where the characters create multiple realities by their actions. Every episode showcases the consequences of creating new branches of reality. The next method of time travel is This Always Happened. In this time travel type, events are predestined, and the time traveler's actions in the past are part of the loop that has always existed. The idea here is that the time traveler does not change the past, but merely ensures that the past happens the way that it always has. The protagonist's journey through time often results in them becoming a part of history in ways that feel inevitable, raising questions about fate and free will. This type can often feel like a closed loop where events are fixed and unchangeable, no matter how much the characters try to intervene. This is probably my favorite type of time travel, since writers are able to make subtle nods to the future throughout a film, making it seem more like a self-fulfilling prophecy. For example, in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry and Hermione use time turners to ensure that events unfold the way that they always have, without changing the course of history. In the Terminator series, time travel is used to set events into motion that will eventually lead to the creation of the very timeline that the characters are trying to prevent. For example, John Connor sends his father Kyle Reese back in time to ensure his own birth. In 12 Monkeys, the protagonist James Cole travels back in time to stop the release of a virus, only to discover that his actions are part of the chain of events that led to the pandemic in the first place. Up next is time dilation, which is based on Einstein's theory of relativity, which states that time moves differently depending on the observer's speed or proximity to a gravitational source. In this type of time travel, characters experience time at a different rate due to their movement or position, often leading to them traveling forward in time, while those in the original timeline experience time normally. This type of time travel is grounded in real-world science, and while it doesn't allow for backward time travel, it offers a scientifically plausible way for characters to move into the future. In Planet of the Apes, for example, astronauts travel through space at high speeds, and when they return to Earth, they find that centuries have passed, even though only a short time has passed for them due to time dilation. In Ender's Game, the protagonist, Ender Wiggin, spends years training in space, but due to time dilation, when he returns to Earth, much more time has passed, and he finds that the world has changed dramatically. And in Interstellar, time dilation plays a major role in this film, as characters experience time differently when near a black hole. 1 hour on the planet near the black hole equals 7 years on Earth. In the next type of time travel, characters can see into the future but are unable to actively travel through time themselves. This often takes the form of precognition, where a character has visions of future events, either through psychic abilities or technological means. The future may be a fixed event that the characters cannot change, or it could present multiple possible outcomes depending on the character's actions. This type often focuses on the ethical dilemma of knowing the future and whether or not one should try to alter it. For example, in Minority Report, the precogs in this film can foresee crimes before they happen, allowing the police to arrest criminals before they even commit their offenses. The film explores the moral and legal implications of knowing the future. In A Christmas Carol, Scrooge is shown visions of his future by the ghost of Christmas yet to come, which inspires him to change his ways. In Arrival, the film deals with the idea of nonlinear time, where the protagonist learns to see future events through her understanding of an alien language, changing her perspective on life and fate. And lastly, in Next, Nicolas Cage plays a man who can see a few minutes into his own future, and the film explores how he uses this ability to change the course of events. One of the most popular types of time travel in fiction is called a time loop, also known as a Groundhog Day phenomenon. In this time travel scenario, characters are stuck reliving the same period of time, usually a day, over and over. This type of time travel often centers around the character trying to change their behavior, fix mistakes, or find a way to escape the loop. Time loops often explore the idea of growth and self-improvement, as the character must learn from their experiences in order to break free. The protagonist may be aware of the loop or gradually come to realize that they're trapped in it. For example, in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray's character Phil Connors is forced to relive the same day over and over again, learning valuable life lessons and eventually changing his perspective on life. In Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise's character is caught in a time loop during a war with alien invaders, where each time he dies, he resets the day and learns how to fight the aliens more effectively. In Russian Doll, the protagonist Nadia relives the night of her death repeatedly, trying to understand the reason behind her predicament and find a way out. And in Star Trek: The Next Generation, the episode Cause and Effect features the Enterprise crew trapped in a time loop, with the characters needing to figure out how to break free before their ship is destroyed. In the Unstuck Mind type of time travel, a character's mind is transported through time, while their body remains in the present. This often results in the character experiencing events in a non-linear fashion, jumping back and forth through different periods in their life. The character may be forced to come to terms with their past, future, or alternate versions of themselves. This type of time travel is more about perception and consciousness than physical travel. In Slaughterhouse-5, the protagonist Billy Pilgrim becomes unstuck in time and experiences events from different points in his life, including his time as a soldier during World War II and his abduction by aliens. In X-Men: Days of Future Past, Wolverine's consciousness is sent back in time to his younger body, where he must change the course of events to prevent a future dystopia. And in Lost, Desmond experiences flashes of his past and future, leading to a non-linear understanding of time and his place within it. The next type of time travel is similar to the Unstuck Mind concept, but it focuses on the body rather than the mind. A character's physical body is transported through time, either to the past or the future. The character may experience disorientation as they adjust to being in a different time period, often leading to confusion or a need to adapt quickly to their new surroundings. In Doctor Strange, the protagonist's body is manipulated through time, particularly in the scene where he manipulates time around him during his final battle with Dormammu. In the film Tenet, the characters experience time inversion, where they move backward in time, and their actions appear reversed, while the world around them moves forward. The last approach to time travel is the most flexible and often the least grounded in scientific principles. In anything goes time travel, there are few or no rules, and time travel devices or mechanisms are often fantastical. The plot doesn't focus on the consequences of changing the past or the rules of time. Instead, the emphasis is on fun, adventure, and convenience. The time travel device could be magical or completely arbitrary, and the events in the past are often changed without any long-term repercussions. This type of time travel can often create absurd or comical situations. For example, in Back to the Future, the DeLorean car allows Marty McFly to travel to different points in time with no real constraints on what he can or cannot do, as long as the plot demands it. In Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the phone booth serves as a convenient and fantastical time travel device, where the characters can pick up historical figures to help them with their school project. In Deadpool 2, Deadpool uses time travel in a somewhat chaotic and inconsistent way, often for comedic or corrective purposes, with little concern for the consequences. And in Hot Tub Time Machine, a hot tub acts as a portal to the past, allowing the characters to relive their youth and fix their regrets without any real logical framework around the mechanics of time travel. Each of these time travel types presents unique narrative possibilities and challenges. Writers can mix and match elements of these types to create intricate, mind-bending plots that explore the consequences of time travel in creative ways. The key to making any of these types work, though, is consistency within the world of the story and careful attention to the rules governing time travel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.